Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
And we're live on a Monday night, ready to give you some quick, down and dirty podcasts. And find us everywhere that you get podcasts. The official weapon of the show is
folding chair.
An unofficial sport,
bullet ball.
A bullet ball, extreme. You will see the link later on in the show notes if you're listening on audio. Wherever you get your podcast, it should be in the show notes. I had to figure out, I still got to do the HTTP thing on YouTube. But and if you're live in the chat right now, you can see it live in the chat. But our live show tickets are officially on sale.
They are on sale.
You can buy them now. There's two different price tiers. There's the VIP package, which you'll get a chance to get a photo opportunity with me and Karen, and we'll also have signed posters to give to people.
Yeah, like a meet and greet.
Yeah, like a quick little meet and greet. It'll be, I think the show's at 7. That starts at like 5:30. We'll probably wrap it up by 6:30. But yeah, we have 50 of those tickets available, so there's limited number. If somehow that number starts selling out then we can talk to the venue about upping the number, like upping the number of VIP tickets, but that's totally up to how many we sell and if it's worth that.
I like the spot. It's more intimate.
We're in a smaller theater than last two times. Last time they had us in the theater Kevin on stage was on. I was like, I don't even know why y'all did that to yourselves. I guess it was just sunk cost, opportunity cost. But the most important thing too is if you're people that want virtual tickets, we're working on the option for virtual tickets. They almost never have them when we start. We'll fight to get you guys some kind of way to watch it on Zoom or, watch it live as we've done in the past. So if you can't make it, hopefully that option will be available. I'm talking to the same people we talked to last time. It's always been available before,
right? And
I'm hopeful that we can do the same thing this time. But different room in the same venue.
Location, yeah.
But we're looking forward to it. Very excited. That's February 28th. JL Covan will be there. I didn't ask him about doing any meet and greet stuff, so I don't even know if that's a thing. I'll text him later.
Yeah, to see if he do it. Yeah.
I mean, it's fine either way. But man, JL, I can't wait, man. JL's gonna be there. He's gonna be funny. He's probably gonna do 15-20 minutes before we come out. Then we gonna be doing that. No, Mary, no hotel info, all that stuff. Everybody got to do their own thing this time. We didn't get like a event planner and go through all that stuff. We're just gonna be at the venue. We're gonna do the meet and greet. We're gonna do the live show, and then we're gonna be out. But I'm looking very much forward to it, and people have been asking about it. So, and most importantly, guys, okay, we paid for all this out of pocket. All right.
Yes, we did.
So our this isn't a sponsored event as of yet. They could become one if sponsors step up and want to.
Right.
But we put the money down for the venue all out of our own pocket. This is why stuff like the Black Friday sale is important.
Yes, it is.
This is why stuff like y'all's premium membership and shit like that is important, because we really could not make these moves without having some money in our bank account for our business. And essentially we're hoping to sell enough tickets to recoup what we put in, and that's how we determine if we make a profit. And it's also how venues like this determine if they're going to work with us again. It's also like how we can afford to pay JL Covan once again. We're paying him hoping that we sell enough tickets that this is a worthwhile venture. And I know JL would say, why would you do something like that? That's never worked out for me. Well, JL, I have more faith in you than you have in yourself. and I feel like the Blackout Tips people gonna come through, and we're gonna have a great time.
I think they're gonna come through. People are gonna come and show up and show out, particularly people that are in Charlotte and the surrounding area. We always have people that fly down if they can make it, and also we know for those of you that can't, they're gonna do virtual tickets. So we're definitely looking forward to that. We'll let y'all know, like I said, when the virtual tickets go on sale. But I am really, really big because this is something we've been planning, working on for a good little while. So I am really, really excited. It is in February the 28th. I am ready, and I'm excited to see everybody.
Yeah, that February 28th is a Friday. It's Friday, 7 p.m. Blumenthal Center for Performing Arts. Like I said, man, it should be a really fun time. We always have a great time at these events. I haven't talked to Justin yet, but he'll probably be there.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking about trying to find a way to also get JL to be on the podcast with us as well, because I think, even if we have to rotate the seat out for a second, I think, last couple times we had comedians there, and I realized the last time I was like, why don't we just have them come on stage and do part of the podcast? They're always friends and guests on the show. So I'll figure all that out, guys. But at any rate, man, thank you, everybody, and can't wait to see you. Stage Door Theater, February 28th, 7 p.m. Be there. All right, Karen, you know what I gotta ask? Do you have any banter?
I do.
Yes, I know you do. Do you have any banter? Talk to me. Do you have any banter? Talk to me. Do you have any banter? Do you have any banter?
I do.
Talk to me.
Do you have any banter?
I do.
Banter.
I do.
All right, Karen, give me some banter real quick.
The banter is basically the race that we did Saturday. That's gonna be my banter. I actually had a great time doing the 5K because we really didn't get to talk about it last show because it was basically a feedback show.
Yeah.
So now we are in the spot where we can actually talk about the 5K, and it was a fun experience. This was our first one. Your mama did it with us. She's done them before, so but this was like brand new for me. And like I said, at first I was looking at y'all like, child, no, I see a K in numbers. I was like, that's far. Like, what is we talking about here? No, that's far. Initially I told you, I was looking like, but I once your mama really explained, I was like, oh, okay, it's not as far as I thought, and I don't think it's gonna be as bad as I thought it was gonna be. And so that kind of calmed my nerves down, where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And I'm glad I did. I was nervous and stuff like that because I didn't know what to expect and what was really gonna happen or anything like that. And we got up there. Your mom came and got us. We got up that morning, parked, and they had all the people there. They was giving out breakfast, like bananas, granola bars, and things like that. They had like a speaker. They was like hyping people up. So they was playing.
I think that was the DJ.
Oh, the DJ. Okay, they was hyping people up, playing music and things like that. And it was really cold. This was the coldest day ever. We've been doing this 12 years, so it was really cold that morning.
It was like 20 degrees when we started, 22 degrees. Sun wasn't really up yet, just started coming up. And they told me today, like, something like 1,100 people signed up for it. And when I got there, we got there like an hour, 45 minutes to an hour before it started. And in my mind, I was like, I don't know if we need to be there that early, but I think Karen and my mom wanted to get there that early. And it did. The parking lot got pretty full. It never got all the way full because a lot of people seemed like they clocked across the street and walked over or something. But yeah, it was cool. We didn't race it like it starts promptly at 8, and there's some people that are there at the when the gun goes off and they just take off. Like they had people that finished in 15, 17 minutes.
Yes. I was like, y'all going 5 minutes a mile. I said, y'all was moving it.
Yeah, so it kind of depends on the
level of the person. I was like, yeah, y'all. I was like, y'all doing this. Y'all, this is warm up for y'all.
Yeah. But man, it was so fun, such a good time. we all walked it, so it wasn't like we was out there, trying to change the world or nothing. And I was determined I was gonna walk it. I've been walking for a few months now, for like 2 months, 3 months now, where I walk 3 miles. It's funny because I started this year just when actually it was a couple years ago, but when I started walking at the beginning, when I got a trainer this year, she would be like, just go out and walk, 20 minutes, go out and walk, half a mile.
Like the distance don't matter, just walk.
Whatever. And now, I walk pretty much 3 miles a couple times a week. And, I know people that do more than that, but I'm just looking at my progress that, I went from doing like under a mile or about a mile to 3 miles in the process of this year. And who knows where I'll be next year and stuff. So, I was just looking at it like that. I didn't look at anybody else's time. I wasn't really trying to compare myself. Although when you get done with the race, they send you your time and your age group and what place did you finish. Because to some people it is a race, and that means something to them.
Yeah, it is. And my thing was, I'm just really glad that I finished the race, and I'm tell you right now, I'm very thankful for your mom, because me and your mom kind of walked together, and that was kind of my motivation, because I know I'm not gonna be that fast, I know I'm not gonna be that quick, but it's something I want to start and finish. And we did about 20 minutes a mile, about 19-20 minutes a mile. My watch was on it. My watch, we would just be walking, all of a sudden my Apple Watch would start talking out loud. I was like, what is it saying? It's like, oh, it's tracking me. It was like, you've done about 19 point something, minutes a mile. I was like, oh, okay. And all my little rings was ringing around and stuff. I actually had a good time. And the one thing I did like about it is that we got to cut through neighborhoods where I'm just driving and I don't really get to see the neighborhood. So it was really beautiful cutting through these neighborhoods where people had like their houses all decorated with like Christmas decorations. And I think one family got out there with their kids and stuff, and they was cheering everybody on. And like every so many, probably certain mile markers, they had like volunteers. They would kind of root you on, and people that would kind of point you in the right direction. And some spots they had police officers and stuff. So I felt safe the whole time. And we had a really, really
they had families that some people set up chairs to watch everybody. There were people that and then the other thing, it was the reindeer like romp or whatever. And so people, they have a costume contest too, where you can dress up in Christmas costumes, and they give you a hoodie as part of just signing up. But people was out there wearing like reindeer outfits and running around with costumes and all kinds of stuff. They had a bunch of Christmas displays. We took a couple pictures and stuff. I had a sweater a hoodie that I wore. That's it's a Gremlins hoodie that look like I have a Mogwai gizmo on my like I'm carrying a gizmo. It was a big hit. Everybody just kept complimenting my hoodie, even when I was walking past the volunteers and stuff. They were like, I like that hoodie. And people was like, I never seen a Gremlins holiday hoodie before. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna definitely wear this a few more times before the holiday season over. But yeah, I enjoyed that part of it. It was an awkward moment where like the person that did my introductory like sign up to the YMCA for my physical trainer and stuff, her name is like Aisha, and I had forgotten her name because like I see her all the time, but we don't always talk. And obviously, if I'm not in her office, it's not like I met her one time that we talked and I could really remember her name. But other than that, it's just like, hey, bye, how you doing type of thing.
Right.
And so she came over and was like, speaking and stuff. And then she was like, I was like, oh, my wife is here. My mom is here. She's like, yes, you do the podcast and all that stuff. And then I'm like, do I ask her what her name is, or do I just pretend like it's not a big deal? And I just bit the bullet and was like, this is my wife, Karen. This is my mom, Judy. And also, what was your name again? And I did feel like it was a little judgment. I felt like she looked at me like a little bit like, you don't remember my name. And I'm like, we don't talk that we don't talk about our names. We just be talking regular talking.
I got a lot of people I know like that.
But I just, I was like, whatever, it's better. I'll remember it now because it's this awkward moment. I'm not sure she listens to the podcast, but I'll remember, her name forever for now since I didn't know it that one time. So yeah, it was that was cool. At the end, they give you a medal. The medal is it looked like an Olympic medal. We took pictures with it, biting the medal like they did at the Olympics. Karen wanted to take that picture.
I did. And also, the thing is, because we wouldn't like doing like a marathon, we doing a 5K. I didn't know if we were going to get medals or not. So when we got near the end, they gave you a medal. I kind of got emotional. I was like, oh, because it was like an accomplishment. It was like, here you go for actually doing the task. And I was like, oh, that's why they give people this, because it was like all of a sudden an accomplishment. I was like, I actually, particularly with it being my first one, I was like, I actually did this, and I started it, and I finished it, and I made it all the way through, and I didn't take no breaks, and I didn't take no stops, and I was like, yay. And so for me, I felt like a little kid when you cross that line and they give you that medal. I was like, yay! In my brain, I was so happy. That's why I was like, hey, I'm going to bite this. Like, this might as well be my Olympic gold medal. I accomplished this.
Yeah, and they're doing another one in like March, and my mom was like, we should kind of make it our thing, maybe sign up for that one too. So we'll probably sign up for that. And I'm glad my mom came too, because, I walk a lot now, and I'm not fast, but part of me was like, I wonder how fast I can do it. And it was also cold as shit.
It was cold.
And so my mom kind of kept carrying company and walked in the back and was like, they talked a lot.
We did.
And when I walk, I can't do the walking and talking. I never could. So like, I put my headphones on and just walk. I don't even know if my time will look like if I stopped to talk or walked and tried to chat at the same time.
I'm used to doing that at work when
women can do it. Women have an extra lung. It's just a it's a DNA thing. Look it up. Sean, I'm sure, can write in about it.
Yeah, we were walking and talking about the trees and shit. We were talking about everything and just the walking.
Yeah, I just turned on like some podcasts and some music and just walked. And I've made my best time ever for that distance. It's not a great like time comparative to other people, but it was a good time for me. And I think part of the reason I made a good time was because it was cold. Yeah. Like I just was like, I just need to keep walking till this is over. Like my hands started warming up the longer I was walking.
Yes, and the sun came up, which made it easier. And by the time Roger met us, we ended up having like reindeer things upside our head. I said, where y'all get that from? It was a lady randomly walking, and she was just handing out the little things to go upside your head. We passed her. She was like, y'all want one? I say, sure. And so we had a good time. I could tell y'all my stuff. I placed 779th out of 1,118. I finished in 1 hour and 1 minute and 12 seconds. I did about 19.42 minutes a mile. In my gender, I placed 436 out of 648. In my age group, which is 45 to 49. And age group place, I was 80th out of 110. And age group gender place, I was 51st of 74. So I did good. It wouldn't have mattered if I came in last. Bitch, I started and I finished it. So I think I did pretty good for my first time.
Yeah, I mean, we all did good. And I think also afterwards we went out to get some breakfast because I didn't eat much before and the night before and stuff. I just didn't. And that morning we were getting up so early that I really didn't have time for breakfast. And they had like granola bars and stuff there for you. But anyway, we went out and got some breakfast, and I still had on my Christmas shit, and Karen had on her thing. And so people was the waiters and stuff was just like asking and talking about the 5K, and we was reading our comic books, and the guy starts talking to us about nerd stuff and video games and comic books. So it's like and I've had a lot of energy after doing the 5K, so I think it was like, you know, it was fine that we had like more conversational moments with the people in there. But yeah, man, it was a good time. I highly recommend it for people. Most of y'all are probably fit enough to do it without, you know, probably do it faster than both of us.
Yeah, probably
if
can.
you're listening to this. And if you're not, you know, it's a cool goal to have, and it's a fun experience. Everybody was positive out there.
Everybody was positive.
Everything was nice.
Yeah, the people cheered you on.
It was nice. Even in the cold temperature, it was cool. And so I would recommend it to anybody to try, and I'll definitely be doing another one at some point.
Yeah, and also because the people that was like, "Oh, your march, get set, go!" Like the people in front. By the time they started giving out the awards, they was like, "This person going," and that. I was like, "Yeah, they finished like in 15 minutes. They ain't have time to wait for my hour and some change ass." They was like, "We got shit to do."
Yeah, and I don't know who won the best dress contest and stuff. I feel like most people did it, and then, you know, you hung around a little bit. Like I think they had coffee, maybe like a biscuit truck or something, like if you wanted to. But I was ready to go home by that time. I wasn't really like socializing. One thing that was funny that I noticed though is before the race started, they actually played the YMCA song. And I was surprised because I did not think they were gonna play the gay anthem at the YMCA. I really don't hear people play it too often.
This is named after us.
At the YMCA. I be in the YMCA every day. And I don't, you know, it's very rarely that you look up in this band and somebody jamming to it. And after all the controversy with Trump and all this stuff, I was like, oh, maybe people are going to stop playing it because they feel like it's a political song. But nah, they played it. And this YMCA is not what, like, it might be conservative at the top, I don't know. But in general, it's not really like a political YMCA. It's not like a it doesn't feel like a conservative organization in there. Matter of fact, on the walk, a lot of the signage on the walk was actually about Latino people and immigrants and how many people the YMCA is supporting and donating to the causes and their families and stuff. So it's actually a very interesting situation with that.
Yeah, me and your mom was reading them signs. I think they were saying like how many Latinos were in the county, how many Latinos, like you said, they was assistant, how many Latinos was like on South Boulevard. Like they was like giving us like some real stats about like the local area. I didn't even know they do English as a second language there. You know, I was like, wow. So we were just walking, like I said, me and your mom was just having a ball, just walking and reading the signs and talking about how old the trees was and shit. I had a ball. And for those of you that are listening and you like me, the time don't matter. Like I say, you basically go at your own pace. You know, I was not the quickest.
Yeah, I think calling it a race is what makes it seem more something.
Yes.
But it's not really like a race. Like honestly, you can go at your own pace. Some people are gonna race and treat it that way, but most people out there, that at least the people within my group, that, because I was just worried in my head, of course, I was just worried somehow I was gonna get out there and be the only person really walking, and then, you know, it's just me in the back, like with everybody running around me.
That's what I was thinking too.
And that wasn't it at all, man.
No.
A lot of people was just chilling. A lot of people was just doing it their own pace.
Some people had
talking.
like whole
people
families,
had babies out there.
Yes, strollers. Seen people walking with their dogs.
Yeah, and it all and it's just money that goes to a good cause, kids programs at the YMCA. So yeah, that's it, man. Appreciate that. Anything else for your banter?
Did that, then went to the Hornets game and just chilled.
Okay. The things I'll say for my banter is a couple things. We went out to dinner with Liz and Keith, and it came up at the dinner table where we were talking about Spotify. I think we were talking about how Pornhub has these rankings, and at the end of the year they always tell us all the information, who was jacking off during the debate and all this type of shit. And I realized, like, why doesn't Pornhub send us an end of the year wrap up like Spotify Wrapped?
That would make sense.
Why don't we have a Pornhub Jacked? We should have Pornhub Jacked. It like whatever account, Xhamster, wherever you're at, it should send you an end of the year. Let you know. Is it because we have so much shame attached to sex and porn? Because we really shouldn't be ashamed. Everyone's obviously watching it. If Pornhub's gonna send us something at the end of the year like X percentage of people was jacking off during the debate, then they might as well send you that mean they know.
They know.
They know when you're sleeping. They know when you're awake. So maybe they can send you something at the end of the year and be like,
they can tell you jacking off doing debate. They watching
your top 5 category was MILF porn.
You need to know these facts.
You know, your favorite actress was Janet Jackson. You're a throwback. You know how they had that.
Yes, you're a throwback.
They had that description. At least this year on Spotify, they had that AI description that was like, "You a West Coast grandma thug rapper or whatever." That's kind of music you like. They could do that with Pornhub Jacked. They could describe you. You know, you an old school Crown Royal, black and mild ass jack off nigga. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you like ebonish. You like it spicy. Whatever you like.
Yo, you watch this. You must have really liked Cherokee the ass. You watched her scene from All That Ass 17 times.
And you watched it to the end.
Right. Like, I want to see that. Your fastest time was this. Your longest was this. I'm like, oh, I didn't have a lot to eat that day. I was starving, you know. That was my second one of the day. I was just trying to get it through. Why don't we have Pornhub Jacked? Is it because of shame? Is that the only reason y'all can't watch Pornhub Jacked? Y'all afraid it's gonna get hacked? Would y'all share the results? I feel like those are the results no one's gonna share.
Right? They were like, no, this is my personal one.
We share our Spotify rap, but is everybody sharing their Pornhub Jacked? Y'all trying to let us know Miss B Nasty is in your top 5?
Yes.
Y'all
ashamed of Pinky?
Yeah, what's going on? Like, maybe some of these people could come back in the game. I don't know.
Yeah, if they knew.
Right. Your number one search was, has Carmel made any new scenes?
Yeah, they would do like they do on Spotify. You would see like the videos and them saying, thank you everybody for watching my videos and making me number 1.
It should end like that.
Yes.
Like, hey, this is Queen Road. Thank you for watching my videos.
Yes. Thank you for making me number 1. Give them something to negotiate when they talk to them people.
I got a concert in your
your area.
I'm just saying, Pornhub Jack should be a thing, and it's a shame that it's not. It's because of shame.
Yes, it is.
Literally, it's shame that it's not. And the last thing for my banter, it kind of gets into the show stuff, but why can't Andrew Schultz be the industry plant that everyone always talking about? Like, y'all ever notice that the industry plant is always somebody that kind of don't seem like they might be the industry plant? Like, we always level that accusation at people that put in work. Like, Kevin Hart has been working. I remember when Kevin Hart was just a short dude that I was like, is this guy the hardest working comedian in the history? I see him everywhere.
Working, yes.
But I saw his rise. Like, it wasn't, he didn't just pop up one day and he was a star in a movie. I saw many bad movies that he had bit parts in and stuff like that. Whenever there's like an artist that puts in work, especially a black artist, we go through this a lot. It's like, oh, just because you ain't been paying attention, Doechii gotta be brand new. No, she's had mixtapes out for years. This is just her first album. This is your first time paying attention.
Right.
You didn't know. But like, Andrew Schultz, why can't he be an industry plant? I mean, when you look at what people say about these industry plants, it's always like they're in a position that their talent doesn't really justify within the industry. You know, I think that fits the bill. You know, it's not, you never really see people sharing hilarious jokes from his set or his stand-up or even hilarious moments from his podcast. Like, it's mostly just kind of like that one-note humor of like, you know, I say bad things about everybody, and that's what makes it funny, is that I'm saying bad things about everybody, but it's not necessarily anything new. It's the same, you know, black people like chicken and watermelon type bullshit, you know. And then the other thing they always say is like, they never come from within the culture. They're put there from outside the culture. And we just don't level it at these certain guys. Like, so if they're coming from outside the culture, that sounds like Andrew Schultz. He's not from within black culture.
No.
Black people don't necessarily vouch for him. They will say, oh, I watch his show or something. The black people who do vouch for him are gatekeepers who will benefit from him being there, such as your Charlemagne's, So it's like, how, I just don't understand why industry plant is something that black people who have worked their entire lives to get on have leveled against them, and then it immediately like erodes their credibility. You know, it's Lizzo's an industry plant. I'm like, what so you hadn't heard of her before? She's clearly talented,
right? A lot of times we've been around forever.
She clearly making good music. What are we talking about? I thought industry plant was this person. How did they get here? We don't know this person. No, you know, like if like, and it's just like a Iggy Azalea. Why aren't we saying industry plant?
Right.
You know, I know people say it about Ice Spice. You know, that's one that I'm pretty sure people say that about. But people were saying this shit about like Megan Thee Stallion. People that have talent that I'm like, no, that motherfucker can spit.
Right. And
like no one's telling us that person's good. I can look at them with my eyes and see that they're good.
Yes.
But I don't know why somebody like Andrew Schultz wouldn't be considered the industry plant. It's the calls coming from inside the house with shit like that. And I don't think it helps that, you know, when you look up, Charlemagne is defending him. People that typically, you know, Van Lathan is downplaying it on this podcast. Like, oh, everybody mad? Wow. Cause that's your friend. That's your, you know, he's situated in the industry in a way that if someone else would have done it, you'd be on your show foaming at the mouth talking about, we not going to accept this slander about black people. Right. But when it comes from someone that somehow has, because I guess the question came up with me and my friends in the chat in our exchange on text. It was like, why do so many people sound like they're afraid of him? Like they're afraid to just be like, oh no, that was some whack shit. You don't have to defend it. You could literally just be like, I'm gonna stay out of it.
Right.
But the idea of like, we don't criticize comedians. Yes, you do all the time. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, they do. People do all the time.
So like, does he got something on you? Is it bigger people behind him?
Right.
Because you acting like he a plant because y'all still mad at Sarah Silverman. It's been decades. Y'all pull up the Louis C.K. shit every 5 minutes to let us know we shouldn't be fucking with him. Anybody that Amy Schumer, like she made a joke about Mexican to this day that she can say Black Lives Matter and that clip's gonna come up.
Yes, it is.
This motherfucker says worse shit and yet somehow gets a more vigorous defense or a complete ignoring from a lot of people. I've seen a handful of people that in this latest time called him out. DL Hughley called him out today, I believe. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Industry plant is such an interesting loaded term because it seems that it's only there to undermine, but it doesn't have to line up. It's like when it doesn't line up, that's when we talk shit about you. Chance the Rapper, it seemed like a guy. I remember his 10-day mixtape. Shit was banging. Mm-hmm. It made sense to me that he was able to create a couple dope ass albums.
Yeah, he been around for a while.
I still remember people, industry plant. You know, he an industry plant. I seen this nigga freestyle before. He's talented. Like this is just some insular edgelord comedy shit.
I haven't heard of you, so you're an industry plant. Yeah, basically.
This motherfucker somebody. But anyway, this is an interesting allegation. All right, let's get into some news, a little bit of news, and then we'll like I said, this won't be a long episode.
Okay.
It would help if I had pulled up the beats already. Here we go. How about this one?
You know what we're here for?
Psycho
music.
I'm not understanding. Everybody's yelling.
Each one had built Bush body. Each one had built Bush body. Each one had built Bush body. Each one had built Bush body.
Oh, what now?
Each one had built Bush body. Each one had built Bush body.
I'm not understanding. Everybody's yelling.
Each one.
All right, let's keep it going on the Andrew Schultz topic.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, very conversational episode today. But Charlemagne the God, of course, defends Andrew Schultz comments on Kendrick Lamar. Basically saying, and like the reason I'm bringing this up is because we got asked on our feedback show yesterday, like when was Charlemagne gonna say something, or that someone was like, I'm interested to see what he will say, and I told them he's not gonna really say shit. That's his friend. That's his man's.
Didn't they podcast together?
They still have a podcast together. I don't expect. Why would you even expect Charlemagne to say something about that man? And you know he's not gonna be able to say anything where he's really calling out somebody close to him for disrespecting black women or making fun of sexual assault, because he's done both of those things. So and this is part of the ecosystem issue, which is a lot of times people say they want people to speak up for stuff, but they won't let those people let go of or move on from the mistakes that they've made.
Right.
So while these moments could show growth, and for somebody to be like, hey, I made these mistakes, this person's making this mistake, let me tell this person they are wrong for this, they should not do it. Most of us are just gonna pull out a this you, dunk on that person. So I think you kind of make people be quiet that you claim you want to hear speak up. Right. But ultimately, the smarter move for the vast majority of these guys is to shut the fuck up, because they don't need y'all going through their old history and being like, yeah, you saying that today, but there was a time when blank. So, of course, Andrew Schultz made his rape reference to Kendrick Lamar. I would make love to him and there's nothing he could do about it. I would make love to him and the only thing he could do is decide if it's consensual or not. I would go so far as to say he couldn't stop most people on the planet from having sex with him. He's talking a lot of shit, but if it came down to it, I could put him on my lap, I could feed him a bottle. And this is because Kendrick Lamar told the black men around Andrew Schultz, stop letting him talk bad about black women. And Andrew Schultz, of course, took it personal, even though he claims it's just jokes and comedy. I mean, I've listened to and watched the segments, and the voice that he's delivering this in don't really seem like comedy.
No, I don't think he's joking.
Like it wasn't like, haha, this is more of my hilarious segment on it. And of course, just slightly off screen, slightly to the right, is the black men that Kendrick Lamar is talking about, sitting up there being used. I believe it was in the lyrics where Kendrick says the niggas that be in rooms with him and the coons, we sliding on them. So it wasn't even about Andrew Schultz really. But the next, after he says this, where he threatens to sexually assault Kendrick Lamar as haha, what a hilarious joke, we're gonna rape, I'm a white man and I'm gonna rape the black man because that's that somehow is okay. He ends up going on his on Brilliant Idiots with Charlemagne, and I'm just not familiar with this sister because I don't watch their show. But of course, then he's now claiming to be getting death threats.
Don't be surprised if he goes crazy. Listen, some of the Kendrick stans have been posting shit like telling me they're gonna take out my family on like pictures of my child, my daughter. God. You surprised by this? This is the nature of the game.
Yeah, social media.
Yeah, it's social media. It's like, but he says that line. He says that line. His parent, his friend, some of his fans. The majority of his fans don't do anything. The majority of his fans are just like, they like hip hop. They think he's a great musician. But the most extreme ones, on a picture of my 8-month baby, are going, "You better take security everywhere because I'm coming for your whole family." And this is like multiple. Crazy. So to me, that person, I don't blame Kendrick. We can't control what our fans do. But that person, I go, you're talking about my kid, man. Like, I have to screenshot you, know who you are, and if I ever see you,
you can't play with it. Yeah, you can't play with it. No, I'm with you. 100%. That's why I don't feel no remorse.
I feel no remorse. Like, yo, you talked about someone's child.
So they pivoted to Drake.
But my thing is this. So you say what you say, Kendrick ain't supposed to take that personally.
You can say I'm going to sexually assault you, and then you're like, wow, these fans are overreacting with these threats. Well, maybe they're up and coming comedians. Maybe they're joking. You can't play with that. If I can play with you, you can play with saying you're gonna sexually assault me. You can play like that because you put the name tag comedian on, and the rest of the world, we can't have a reaction to that. If you talking specifically about me, I can't say shit to that. I'm being too sensitive. But anonymous people death threatening you, which we know ain't gonna happen, all of a sudden now we need to have a serious context. You motherfucking flip-flopping ass bitch. You're playing the sympathy game when you have none yourself. That's crazy. So it's just kind of whack to me. And I believe, just so for accuracy, he says we recorded this podcast before I responded to Kendrick. So you talking about death threats and being the victim right here, right? Because, hey, I said some bad stuff about black women. It was just a joke. Why are people death threatening me? Then you went on your show and said, I'm going to rape this guy? That's just making it worse. That doesn't make it better.
Make it make sense.
Your response was worse.
Yes, it was.
So it's like, oh, let me go escalate this thing. But also I'm the victim. It's such a Drake suing white man ass response. How is this not the industry plan? He don't come from our culture. This is not part of our culture. If you talk shit, then just talk that shit. No one got to like it. No one has to like that you talk that shit. No one. That's the game. No one has to. People listen to our show all the time. They don't like what we got to say sometimes. It's fine.
It's fine.
No one can make them like it. It's cool. You know? And I can see if it's one of those things where it's like, bro, all I did was say blank and then everybody went crazy. Your whole point is I say the crazy shit to people.
Yeah, that's your whole point.
You don't come from our culture. And yet you comment on it like a person looking in a window. That's why you talk about black women like that, like they're violent. Cause that's what people that watch like Instagram reels of like the couple comedy hack bullshit that you see on social media where it's like black women are mad and angry and jealous all the time, and you got to be scared of your black woman, boy. You don't know what she gonna do. That's what you say when you from outside the community, and that's what you think of black women.
True.
Within the community, we not like, man, I come home, my wife physically assaults me every day. What the fuck are you talking about? Them man shits and giggles. But once again, this was never really about him. It was supposed to be about shits and giggle. Now, what's funny is that Charlamagne defended him by being like, Andrew is just making jokes. I agree that you're a comedian. You have, I don't want to say a license because it's not the right word, but you had a license to make jokes about any and everybody. Since when do we police comedians? If Andrew was a person that was only constantly making jokes about one group of people, it would be different. Don't get me wrong, there are people who call themselves comedians that all the time use as a smoke screen, just say some real fucked up, dumb shitty jokes that are probably racist or hateful, and that sucks, and that's just bad comedy. But if you're being honest, like we're all sitting here being honest, and anybody even online, that, of course, this shit's gonna pop up in the middle of my fucking thing. Anybody that's even online, what do you say to that? Oh yeah, knows anything about me is being honest. You don't believe that. Here's the thing, though. There's two parts of this. One, this is your homie. He is making shitty, simple jokes. These are not like some George Carlin bit or something. No one's quoting his jokes like, God damn, that was so smart. He's your homie, so that's why you're gonna let him do it. If it was another comedian that wasn't your homie, you'd be saying he's one of these racists. Facts. That's just what I believe. But then the second part of that I find very interesting, Charlamagne gave Cat Williams Donkey of the Day over jokes. So clearly we police some comedians when we feel like it, but when we don't, it's okay. Like he got mad, or he said Cat Williams was, doing too much on Shannon Sharp's podcast and gave him, and he was lying and blah blah blah. So you clearly don't just give comedic license to everybody where it's like, well, they was making jokes. And the rule is you can make stuff all the time, make jokes all the time. And if you're a comedian, and that's just what we have to do. So, these, like I said, how does not the industry plan? I just want to know, how is that not the industry plan? Schultz and Charlamagne went on Brilliant Idiots and called out Cat Williams. So comedians don't have this license unless you give it to them. Stay consistent. Stay on message. That's all. And mostly stop bitching about gangs then death threatening me. You're threatening to rape people. And you're not online fan anonymous person. When you can't control what your fans do. You can control what you do. and you chose to use your voice to say you were gonna sexually assault a black man that had the temerity, the fucking the audacity to just be like, hey, maybe say something when this dude is talking bad about black women en masse. And you went, what about the rap? What about black on black crime? What's that have to do with anything? That's not where you got your license from. You're not from part of our community, so you're not getting it because you're so endowed. Listen, I'm so involved in the hip hop scene, I just got confused. No. You just thought that shit was a quick, easy joke, and you knew that those cowards would come in there and they would not defend black women to your face, and you dared them. And a lot of these motherfuckers fit the goddamn bill, because now, even after what Kendrick said, even in the wake of what you're saying right now, these niggas sit there in that room yucking and waiting for you to awkwardly move on, watching you play victim. You know, sister sitting in there, oh my God, what? You know, what was the oh my God when the shit he said that shit in front of shits and giggles? But you know, every time I see a nigga in the room with him and they on the payroll, like you would see with an industry plant.
And then the thing is, Reggie brought up a good point. It was like they apologized and he joked them.
He clowned them for apologizing.
Yes.
They not stand-up comedians. He clowned them for apologizing because it was real.
Yes.
So yeah, but now I'm supposed to believe death threats to you are real, but the other shit is fake. Man, fuck you. Let's see what else is happening in the news, guys. There's other things to talk about. Jay-Z. He has now been accused in a lawsuit. Well, he says it's a lawsuit. I have no idea exactly what's happening, because Tony Busby, who is the guy who is getting together a lot of people that are suing Diddy, a lot of Diddy's accusers. He's the guy who got together a lot of people that accused Sean Watson. In both of those cases, I believe him. Excuse me. I believe those victims. And I know what he does is, some people don't respect it. They call it ambulance chasing, whatever. But also I know that it's a hard job and someone got to do it. Yeah. Like people said the same thing about Gloria Allred too. And people always try to discredit the people that do this work. Because we like these rich, powerful, famous men normally who are accused of shit. So a lot of times we don't want to act like these people have credibility. But then too, when you're gathering sometimes dozens, if not hundreds of people together to sue somebody, sometimes you might get it wrong. Excuse me. Sometimes you might have a person that says something that can't be corroborated or says something that's not strong enough to win a suit. Right. What you're hoping is that if you bring 50 people together to sue somebody, the person will just be like, fuck it. It's no reason to be like, yes, I sexually assaulted 47 people, but 3 of them is lying. It's like, you just pay everybody out and try not to go to trial at that point, right? So he's doing this with Diddy, and allegedly, a rape allegation was made against Jay-Z as part of this. A woman who previously sued Sean Diddy Combs is alleging she was raped at an award show at the party in 2000 when she was 13. She amended the lawsuit Sunday to include a new allegation that Jay-Z was also at the party and participated in the assault. The 24-time Grammy Award winner, producer, and music mogul called the allegations idiotic and heinous in nature in the statement released by Roc Nation, one of his companies. And I read the statement. The statement seemed like some shit he wrote. Like, it didn't seem like a statement where like some lawyers wrote it. For the record, as I will always say, I don't know what an innocent or guilty response to being accused looks like, because people who have been guilty have tried everything. Like, it's one of the reasons I don't feel any need to have commentary or parse it out on social media. Like all these other, like, you know, experts suddenly are like, you know, he should have said it should have been 3 sentences. I've seen people make 3 sentences and they still did it. I've seen people make long ass, like, I definitely didn't do it, we're gonna take this shit to trial, and they still did it. And vice versa. I've seen people that put out short statements and turns out they didn't do it. I've seen people put out long statements, very like, we gonna go to trial, I don't give a fuck, and sometimes they didn't do it. we won't know until they go to court.
Right.
I don't find any value in being first on this or saying I was right later. And we'll see what the evidence and allegations show that is provable or believable.
Right.
We'll see if other people come forward, which is another thing that could happen.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Yes.
Like a lot of times these things start with one person and then, 20 people later, you're like, oh shit. So I don't know. I think, as I've said the whole time with the Diddy stuff, a lot of this has been salacious. A lot of this has been speaking into like trying to get, the tea is brewing. Some gossip. And I just think one of the most disrespectful things we do in these situations to not just the court of law, justice, whatever you want to call it, but to the actual people who've been assaulted is we turn it into gossip. It's not juicy enough for me, so I'm gonna make up some shit.
Make up some shit. It's horrific enough. Why are you making up shit?
Yeah, like basically like what your allegations are boring to me.
Right. So it's not entertaining me.
But what if Kanye West was there? Like that kind of shit. So this one mentions him by name as an allegation. I think his people are trying to be like, she shouldn't be able to be anonymous if she's gonna make this, which is another tactic that people do in court. Like, how you gonna accuse me and stay anonymous? You need to put your name on it. Tony Busby is on Twitter putting out tweets as the lawyer representative of the person, being like, this is only emboldened her, and we reached out to you privately to try to settle this, and they didn't even want money, they just wanted a mediation, and you didn't respond, so all you've done is make this worse for yourself. And Jay-Z's calling it blackmail, and it just depends on who tells the truth. Because
it depends on who's telling the truth.
Obviously, if you really didn't do this, what else would you call somebody being like, hey, you sexually assaulted a 13-year-old girl, and she's a grown woman now, she wants to have a mediation with you. If you didn't do it, you're going to be like, this is blackmail. What the fuck kind of bullshit is this? If you did do it in public, you gonna say this is blackmail. This is what kind of fucking bullshit it is. So we haven't learned anything from this. I remember Diddy's first statement with the pity. Well, his was more of a pity party situation, but still, it was a nothing against me is true. All these people lying. Now, by the time he put that statement out, it was way more people than Cassie. So, it to me, context wise, when you say all 12 people is lying, nothing 12 people said is true, I immediately antenna goes up like, this nigga's lying.
Right. And like everything else, only time will tell. And we, just let the facts roll out.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens to this. Jay-Z is, in this statement talking shit. I will not give you one red penny. I'm going to expose you for the fraud that you are. He brought up being from the projects of Brooklyn. It was a long, vociferous ass statement. The unnamed woman said she was hanging around Radio City Music Hall during 2000 MTV Video Music Awards, managed to talk a limousine driver into bringing her to a celebrity-started party at a private residence after the event. She said while she was in the limousine, she was asked to sign a non-disclosure document. Once at the party, a 13-year-old? Wow. Once at the party, the lawsuit said she took a drink that made her feel woozy and lightheaded and went into a bedroom to lay down. She said that Combs and Jay-Z, whose real legal name is Sean Carter, then barged into the room along with another unnamed celebrity and sexually assaulted her. Now, why the last one is unnamed, I don't know. The woman said she eventually escaped the room, fled the house, and called for a ride from a nearby gas station. Busby is a personal injury lawyer in Houston, said the notion that he was trying to blackmail Jay-Z is stupid and laughable, that his letter simply sought confidential mediation in the litigation. What he fails to say in his recent statement is my firm sent his lawyer a basic demand letter on behalf of an alleged victim, and that victim never demanded a penny from him. Yeah, but at the same time, if we're going to be fair about that, that's the letter you send before you say, give us some money. It's not like nobody fucking just meets with the person and then goes, all right, well, it's all good now. What? Anyway, but this is what happens when you read lawyer statements. Yeah, these are two different sides of the same talking, I'm making a public argument, and it's not really an argument for the public. It's honestly a thing that will be adjudicated in a court of law if it gets that far.
Yes, sir.
Since I sent the letter on her behalf, Mr. Carter has not only sued me, but he has tried to bully and harass me, and this plaintiff, his conduct has had the opposite impact. She is emboldened. I'm very proud of her resolve. Jay-Z's attorney filed a court paperwork Monday asking the judge to require his accuser, who is identified only as Jane Doe, to reveal her identity if she wants to continue the lawsuit. Sparrow said the woman hasn't provided any evidence to justify her anonymity and that her vague assertions of potential harm fall far short of the stringent requirements under the law. Yeah, I also think that's the other part about this environment of our like conspiratorial gossiping. The accusation is enough for the vast majority of people that want to gossip to be like, he did it.
Agreed.
Like, you have to unprove that you sexually assaulted somebody, and very rarely is that something you can completely unprove, because people are so conspiratorial. The same people that were sharing Jaguar Wright clips are gonna be like, he did it. I don't give a fuck what is proven or not proven. I don't care if she can't back it up. I don't care if she did. And also, once again, in fairness, if it did happen and it was in 2000 and you were 13, there literally might not be enough evidence you might not have enough. Like, if it is true and you don't have, like, you didn't go to you didn't call the police, you didn't go to some type of doctor and have a kit done, you don't have any paperwork, or really it's still gonna be almost impossible to prove anyway. Yeah, so people are gonna go in public opinion with whatever they're prone to lean towards anyway. Jay-Z has made a lot of public miscues with people in the first place, with his politics, with his, he's very like capitalistic, very like, it's very anti what Twitter's about. So already it's people that want to kind of hate him anyway. There's people that just don't like that he's rich. So yeah, it's very interesting to see what happens with this. And I'm just gonna sit back and wait the same way I did for everything. I don't have to have an opinion.
Stuff will come out, y'all. It will come out.
Yeah. So I can't tell if he did it or not. Just that little bit, but hey, stuff is happening. I remember when the Cassie video came out, and it was like a lot of people that was on the fence had to stop, so who knows? I think it's also interesting that the government is not going after any of these people yet. Like, the government is going up after more people than Puff Daddy. So for people that be like, well, that's because they just want to take him down. Nah, the government is actually going after the people within Puff Daddy's network that they feel like they have tangible evidence that aided in this conspiracy.
So you aided and abetted. That's their words.
So it's not. So if there's evidence Jay-Z was involved in this shit, I do think it's quite possible we see some criminal action. I don't think it stays as a civil matter, which might also explain why he's so vigilant and being like, I ain't part of this shit. Like, y'all might take down Puff Daddy, but I'm not trying to have the feds looking at me for some shit like this, because it's very serious.
Right.
Anyway, the suspect in the killing of the United Healthcare CEO apparently shook when police confronted him, officers say. Well, that's what they wanted to say, right? They'll have it on tape if they got it. But yeah, they arrested the suspect Monday in the brazen Manhattan killing of United Healthcare CEO after a quick-thinking McDonald's customer in Pennsylvania spotted a man who officers found with a gun, a mask, and writings linking him to the ambush. Now, what he was doing at McDonald's, I don't know. Breakfast is at 10:30. Maybe he was there like falling down, trying to rectify right. He's like, so you tell me I can't have that McMuffin and it's 10:31? Clack, clack. The chance sighting at the restaurant in Altoona led to a dramatic break in challenging but fast-moving investigation that captivated the public in the 5 days since the shooting that shook the business world. The suspect, identified as 26-year-old Luigi Nicholas Mangione, had a gun believed to be the one used in the Wednesday shooting of Brian Thompson, as well as writings suggesting anger with corporate America. Yeah, and the gun had like the silencer thing, I believe. So I don't know how many people just rolling with guns and that with the silencers that also happen to look like the motherfucker that shot the dude 5 days ago. Eric Adams let it slip that they had the guy's name, but they weren't releasing it to the public. And a lot of people thought, yeah, of course. Yeah, right. Y'all don't know who he is. Y'all just acting like y'all know who he is, so that whoever y'all framed for this shit that didn't do it y'all could be like, it was him the whole time. We just didn't tell y'all. Here's the problem with that thinking. To me, this is the way I think. If they knew the name of the person and they didn't want it to get out, they probably also didn't want it to get out that they knew the name of the person and they didn't want it to get out, right? That's the kind of thing if you looking for somebody, you think that gives you the upper hand, you don't even want them to know we know who the fuck you are and we know where to look for you, right? If they telling the truth, they probably have to tell that to certain people in power, right?
Yes, they have to, yes.
Of the people you tell, one of those people is probably the mayor of New York.
Of course.
Okay. Now, they would get the instructions, don't tell nobody. We can know who the guy is.
I guarantee you that was one of the phrases that was said in this conversation somewhere.
Now, if there's one motherfucker on this planet that I completely expect to go,
Mr. I want to be everywhere,
am going to tell that we know when we coming to get him, it's Eric Adams, who had nothing to do with catching this man.
He'll fuck up a case. I know that was like, God damn, sir.
Definitely put this case in jeopardy.
Yes, he did.
Definitely letting the killer know, like, we out here. We know some information. I guarantee you they didn't tell Eric Adams his name. I guarantee you they told him.
I think he would have said his name.
I think they said, we think we know who he is. We think we know his name, but we're not releasing it to the public. And they didn't tell him, because if they would have told him, he would have been out there like, it's Luigi. We coming for your ass.
You know he would have.
It's going to be a real haunted mansion when we roll up on you.
You better tell your brother Mario you're going to be sleeping with the fishes.
When we catch you, it's going to be because we going to kill you. That's what he would have said. So I do believe that they had his name and they knew who he was. Plus I'm sure family, friends and shit, man. Like that's someone you recognize. And the people have been doing, of course, all this like online research. And so they pulled up his Twitter and they saw not his tweets necessarily, but his family's tweets to him. And it seemed like he been missing for months and crashed out, and people been asking about him. Like, where are you at? Come home. One person was like, you're supposed to be in my wedding. We haven't talked to you in months. If you're not going to be in the wedding, can you let us know so I can make plans accordingly? So it sounds like
he just fell off the map.
Yeah. And as much as fun as people were having with the idea of like the conspiracy of it, me too,
jokes, yeah.
I don't, I don't think, like, I never really understand the people that get so uptight about the jokes. Guys, we don't have superpowers. I don't have a time machine. I didn't make this man kill anybody. I might joke about it. I also wasn't really out here like championing him as a hero, but mostly because it's America.
Right.
And in America, when it comes to these type of events, there's two commonalities that I found resonate through every single last one of these events. Regardless of where you fall on the political spectrum, these are the two things I identify, and I've never been wrong yet. The availability of guns and craziness in America is like this on every lap, whether it's a mass shooting, whether it's a fucking one-off, whether someone shot up a fucking party. We have way too many fucking guns in this country, and they're way too fucking easy to get.
Yes, they are.
Republicans make sure they are easily available to everybody. And honestly, in a moment like this, I think a lot of us are like, could have been worse. That's how fucked up America is. Yes. Could have been a school of children. Could have been a grocery store of black people. Who knows what their crazy is going to be? I'm surprised it's taking this long for someone's crazy to be one of these, like, I'm against the billionaires and the 1%, and I'm going to catch one of them slipping. I'm surprised it's taking this long because people talk that kind of shit on social media all the time.
Yes,
and
they do.
Those people can go get guns too. No one's stopping anyone in this country from getting guns, really. So I'm not really shocked at any of that stuff. And when you look at it like that, it's not funny. It's not as sexy. It's not as whatever. But that's how I see the truth, which is like, yeah, it's another long line of examples of wide, massively available weapons that can just take someone's life, and us casually letting them just be out here.
Just out in the streets.
They caught him. He had like mad fake IDs on him. He was sitting in the rear of the McDonald's wearing a blue medical mask and looking at a laptop computer. A customer saw him and an employee called 911. The other thing that's been going around on social media is a lot of it seems to be jokes. I can't tell. This feels a little Ted Bundy-ish to me. No offense to y'all that's into this guy. But where people are like over exaggerating how hot he is because it's like he's a bad boy. And it's like maybe we're 20 years from documentaries on this man to where people gonna have that moment like they had with Ted Kaczynski about 5 years ago where everybody went, this nigga not that attractive. Y'all was letting him just kill y'all. And I was like, I mean, what are we saying about the victims when we say that? But yeah, anyway, I think maybe maybe we're living through what happens with a Ted Bundy type person. Maybe we're living through it where people are like, the euphoria of acting like, this dude is the hottest man we've ever seen is more powerful than is he actually the hottest man we've ever seen.
Right.
Like the jokes and the fun is more fun than the truth.
Right.
Fun. I'm not trying to yuck people's yum, but I'm just wondering because if he really is the hottest man on earth, I have to say it's a horrible choice to try to murder somebody.
Right.
Because everybody pays attention to hot people. You can't get away.
You come in and child, you be sparkling and shit. You make everybody look up. A spotlight shines on you because everybody like you will look abnormally beautiful.
If he's super hot, I'm surprised he didn't get caught on the Greyhound. Hot people don't ride the Greyhound. People who shower don't normally get to ride the Greyhound.
Not too often.
If you get on the Greyhound smelling like soap, you stand out.
I can see that.
A lot of times they call the police on those people right away. They're like, they running from something. We don't know what.
But what they running from?
They did a crime because why would they be able to afford soap and Greyhound bus fare?
It's either one or the other.
What are they, JL, riding to an event?
All right.
No. This normal people don't do this. You got to be downtrodden. You have to have the stink of failure and desperation on you
before you make them life choice decisions.
Yeah. Dude was so hot. The one of the women, we know what he looked like at the bottom of his face because he went to order a coffee and somebody was like, God damn, take your mask off. You see what I'm saying? Somebody was flirting with him then. So he was too hot to do this crime. This is not the crime of a hot person. A schlubby 44-year-old balding man would still be on the loose. Nobody trying to fuck him. People looking
nobody
away.
Know where he was.
No one making eye contact. Put your mask back on. Here's an extra mask.
Beat it, bum.
Get out of here, Pops. Unc. You know?
A lot of that.
Unc would have got away with it. It's a reason Jeremy Meeks was the hot felon, but he wasn't the hot murderer felon. It would have never worked out for him. Can't be on the run and hot. Come on, ugly people go on the run. Normal people go on the run. Man need to put on like 75 pounds or he gonna go on the run in America and be not
noticed.
Yeah. They probably been what really happened is for the last 4 days, people probably been recognizing him, but they just been letting it slide because they thought, oh, he like our V for Vendetta. He out here getting the billionaires. He an activist.
People been recognizing him,
yeah.
Particularly a large city like New York. It's too many people congested for nobody to recognize
they
you.
Thought he was cool. Okay, they thought he was cool. They was giving the cum gutters a pass. They was like, listen, he's got a 13-pack abs, but and it's clearly the man that killed that CEO, but he's hot. But then my guess is, at some point, he talked, he ordered his McDonald's, he did something. And then all of a sudden people realize, oh, wait a minute. This is not V for Vendetta. This is not Jason Bourne. Okay. This is not a dude that is giving us that's gonna free the people. He doesn't have a list like the dude at the end of Billy Madison that he's checking off to get all the CEOs.
No.
He's not trying to free us from the health insurance struggle. I think when he went to order, McNuggets at 8:30, the McDonald's people was like, oh, shit.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, you crazy.
I am.
Yeah. When he came to McDonald's and was like, let me get the sea bass. And they was like, oh, we thought you was gonna start the revolution. You said just give you a cup and you're gonna fill it up in the toilet. All right, he's crazy. Go ahead, let's get the $10,000 reward. Let's just get it. Fuck it. In his backpack, police found a black 3D printed pistol and a 3D printed black silencer. The complaint said the pistol had a metal slide and plastic handle with a metal threaded barrel. He was taken into custody at 9:15 a.m. Still in there waiting on Big Macs.
You can 3D print a gun.
First of all, yeah, you can 3D print a gun. First of all, ordering McDonald's after the Listeria outbreak is wild behavior. They should have known. He's like, I hate corporations, but I love a deal. Okay.
I can't pass the deal.
When he came in though and sat down and he said, I'm just gonna wait for y'all CEO to come in. And they was like, why are you waiting on the CEO of McDonald's, sir? I just want to talk to him for a second.
Apparently this deal is better than death.
Mm-hmm. I would like to talk to him for a second.
A killer deal.
Let me know. What are Ronald's office hours?
9 to 5.
He's done a lot to the community. He need to pay for it. This Listeria outbreak gonna stop today. The last nasty onions have been sold in this country, and I'm the CEO shooter.
Right? I've had onions and none of them taste like this.
Yeah. Is it true his nickname was Hot Shooty? I heard people was calling that on
Hot Shooty.
Hot Shooty. Yeah,
that's hilarious.
That's a joke for those that watched Hot Frosty. But yeah, he had clothing and a mask similar to those worn by the shooter and a fraudulent New Jersey ID matching one the suspect used to check into a New York City hostel before the shooting. NYPD Chief of Detectives Joseph Kinney said Magione was born and raised in Maryland, has ties to San Francisco, his last known address in Honolulu. A message left Monday with a Philadelphia area phone number connected to him was not immediately returned. Yeah, they say his family is rich. So they was like, his family got money and more money than the CEO he killed. And I was like, well, it sounds like rich people business to me.
Yes, that is rich people business.
This rich on rich crime is out of control in this city, and I'm tired of the 1% and all this violence.
Where the daddies?
Right. Where are the sires?
Where are the lords?
Right. I'm tired of y'all not having fathers in the manor.
Right.
What's happening to the mansion, the structure of the mansion in the nuclear family with these rich people? I did think at first he was like the Riddler, because he had Monopoly money in a bag,
right,
that they found in the park. But what if he was planning to put that Monopoly money all over that guy, and he fucked it up and just hopped on the Citibank and got out of there? A lot was happening. Gun jam. There was a lot happening.
And a lot of shit could have been happening.
Yeah, he's like, let me just, I was going to throw Monopoly money on the man. I already wrote shit on my bullets. That's going to be good enough. I got to get out of here. Just left the backpack in Central Park. I thought at first I thought he was a riddler, but I was like, he didn't leave no riddles with the backpack.
It just said the riddle meet is NYPD.
Yeah. What moves even when it stands still, Batman? See you at the next destination.
Commissioner Gordon.
Right. Like, the hands of time can only be moved by the feet of clay. Good luck, Commissioner.
Them shit don't be making no goddamn sense.
He just left Monopoly money. Now you gotta go directly to jail. Do not pass go. What if you think if he rolled like a 11 or a 2, they'll let him out? Like, give me 2 dice. I'll roll a 7. Y'all gotta. Daddy need a freedom. Okay, well, do I at least get the money down with down at the free parking? Can I just get the money? No? All right. Well, can you let me out for the silver car?
Nope.
A thimble? Okay, all right. Well, I don't want to bribe the judge, but you in the property because Park Place.
I got Park Place and Boardwalk for you.
I'm just saying. Okay, the rent is sky high.
I got the electric company and the railroads.
Right.
We can make a deal. Let's make a deal.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. They said they found a 3-page document with writing suggesting that he had ill will towards corporate America. They asked if he needed a corporate defender. He said a public defender. He said he would answer that at a future date. So sound like he gonna try to defend himself.
Child, I hope the family get a hold of him and be like, the hell you will.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna step in at some period of time. Be like, no, if we paying for it, you know.
Yeah, it seems it seems that maybe he's not all there.
Right. Seems like something is off.
Yeah. They said he quoted the Unabomber Manifesto on Goodreads and gave it 4 stars.
Oh, why lose a star?
Probably because it's too long. Okay, his manifesto is 3 pages, so I'm pretty sure he was like, Ted, you ain't need to write all this shit.
That was too much.
Like, wrap it up.
Speed this shit up.
You could have got 5 stars. You shaved like 90% of the pages.
That's all.
Shit. Yeah, they were very detailed. He had the writings. They said they were very detailed. Everything we have is going to be turned over to NYPD. He had a ghost gun, a type of weapon that could be assembled at home, and parts without serial number make them difficult to trace. He also had a passport and $10,000 in cash, $2,000 of it in foreign currency. He said,
foreign currency, man, I'm going somewhere.
Yep. So yeah, he attended an elite Baltimore prep school, graduated as valedictorian in 2016. According to the school's website, he went on to earn undergraduate and graduate degrees in computer science in 2020 from the University of Pennsylvania. One of his cousins is a Maryland state legislator, and his family bought a country club north of Baltimore in 1980s. So
they talking about money.
They come from money, yeah. So I don't know, but he sound like he just crashed out for some reason. Maybe he just read. Maybe the woke DEI got him. He read enough shit about billionaires and was like, "I'm gonna get me one." Everybody will set it off. They'll start the revolution. I'll be a hero. Based on everything we've seen, he was very careful with trying to stay low profile, avoid cameras. Not all that successfully in some cases, but that was certainly the effort he was making, said the police. In the days since the shooting, police turned to the public for help, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they didn't. What's funny is they were guessing at first. They thought he was a disgruntled employee or client of the insurer, but they didn't know clearly. It sounded like he just was a guy that decided he was going to catch him one. So yeah, I guess that's maybe. I mean, I'm sure there'll be more to the story. He's alive, and
of course,
sound like he's gonna try to defend himself in court. You know, we probably will be hearing more and more from this man,
whether we want to or not. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking at the pictures of him now. For those that, you know, I'm not saying he's not attractive or whatever. I just think people are hyping up his attractiveness because of, you know, it's a bad boy, salacious story. But that's him posing with a picture of McDonald's, a Happy Meal from McDonald's. This is him with the abs out, no shirt on in the jungle.
Oh,
yeah,
he them adventurous type.
Yeah, it's bugs out there.
We're going deep sea diving.
Hopefully he sprayed himself with some off first.
I hope he did. Us them bugs ate him the hell up.
Yep. So that's what's going on, guys. It's a jungle out there. Be careful. All right.
Yes, it is.
People getting accused of sexual assault. People getting caught at eating McGriddles and shooting CEOs. Andrew Schultz being an industry plant. that was a show for today. I'll do a little bit of sword ratchetness so we can wrap this up nice and clean. Tomorrow's show will be a bit early. 4 p.m. will be the time we're going live. We'll have a friend of the podcast and successful movie writer, Russell Hainline, who is responsible for one of the biggest movies out right now, the phenomenon known as Hot Frosty on Netflix. And he has more movies in the pipe and more that he's written that just came out.
Come on through.
So make sure y'all come in tomorrow if you're interested in that. We're going to talk to him probably for like an hour or so about his journey from being a podcaster to like a film critic to like a movie to writing movies.
That's a transition.
Yeah, he's been on the show a few times. I've had him on. We've done movie reviews. He's one of my favorite people to review disaster movies with. So tune in for that tomorrow. And because it's gonna be a good time. All right, sword ratchetness time. All right. Sword wielding man charged with aggravated assault. You hate to see it. Oh wait, can I read this out? Okay, there we go. Oh wait, this is one of those you gotta like log in to read it. All right, well fuck it, we'll go to a different one. They clearly don't care about how dangerous these swords are. They gotta make us pay. 35-year-old man stabbed with samurai sword after asking the man for a cigarette. Damn.
Right?
That's a just say no. I'll take a no. You could just say I don't have any cigarettes left. Stabbing seems I don't know, a little excessive.
Kind of severe, don't it?
A little over top. I'm not gonna lie. Neighbor said a man was stabbed at cool. I think I could play this article. Let's see if we can listen to it together, everybody. Let me share my screen with everyone. And let me also make sure the sound is right. Okay, cool. All right, let's see. We can listen as a family, everybody. Make it bigger. Don't embarrass me, Art.
A man is dead after getting stabbed with what neighbors called a sword or a machete.
Yeah, this attack was at an apartment complex in Greenville.
Let me tell you right now, that is a difference with no distinction. A sword and a machete are the same thing.
Those actually two different things, but they was like, damn it.
Nope, they're the same thing. They're not. That's what I'm saying. It's a difference with no distinction. A machete is a fucking sword. When it's knee deep in your guts, I promise you, it'll be a sword.
Saturday night, Mike Campbell talked with neighbors.
And Mike, they tell you this all started when the victim only asked to borrow a cigarette.
Oh.
Exactly right, Cheryl. Now, we are near downtown Greenville in front of a business that you see is a laundromat. But in this building, if you walk with me up this slight driveway, you'll see that the rest of this building is actually a large apartment, a number of apartments back here. And this is where police and neighbors say the senseless crime happened, an attack without warning. Police arrested the man that lived in this apartment building after he went after a guest of another tenant. The neighbors described to us a nightmare that was all sparked by the victim asking for a cigarette.
You think he said a cool one-liner after he said no? He was like, can I have a cigarette? No, but you gonna get smoked.
Oh no!
Sorry, but it's not your lucky. It's a lucky strike. I don't know. I don't smoke a lot of cigarettes, guys. I don't know.
I didn't have any, so he went next door, and that guy just took some kind of a sword, samurai sword, and stabbed him.
Sheila Horn told me she's still in shock. She identified the victim as Kyle Brown, a 35-year-old homeless man.
I let him sit with me in the daytime so he didn't have to walk the streets all day, because he lived at the bridge.
911.
Man, white people be saying they whole government name to the news.
Mm-hmm.
Black people, we be on the news after crime happened up the street. First of all, our face don't be on camera.
You blurring the hell out of me, yes,
a lot of chest, a lot of hands.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be like a neighbor who didn't want to be identified.
Shots.
It's like everyone on the street knows it's you, but you don't need everybody in your business. White people be out there like Cheryl Jones said.
Callers brought Greenville police and rescue crews here Saturday night. They called in an air ambulance to fly him to Dayton, but Brown did not survive his injuries.
I know that the two do know each other. I'm not going to comment yet on past disagreements or what may have led up to it.
Greenville Chief Ryan Benji told me his officers handling the crime scene discovered the 48-year-old suspect, Matthew McKnight, still on the scene and took him into custody. Benji didn't want to say much else, but neighbors claim McKnight appeared to have mental challenges.
He pulled a knife on me before because I went over there and asked him for a cigarette one day and I had to run. But he was very mentally ill and he'd sit up all through the night and yell and scream.
Horn and other neighbors want McKnight to stay locked up for his and the community's safety.
I've seen so much violence and stuff. It's the way this world is anymore.
I hope that he don't ever get out, because if he does, I don't know what I'll do.
Damn. Yeah, I guess if you used to chill with him every day, you know, yeah, I can see how she would feel that way.
Nope, keep him locked up. And like I said, everybody claim they care about mental health until it's time to pay for mental health.
Yep. But I mean, you can't really blame her.
Back live, you are looking at the door where neighbors told us McKnight lived in that apartment. Now, Greenville detectives are checking records to see how long he may have lived here and whether there are any other complaints about his behavior. He is booked into the Darke County Jail on suspicion of murder tonight.
Damn, she basically said,
they better keep his ass in jail, because he come back out here, this gonna be a horror movie nightmare for his ass. He don't want to come back around here playing with me.
Nope. All right, that's it. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow talking some hot frosty. Until next time, don't forget our live show tickets are on sale. The link will be in the show notes. First come, first serve when it comes to the meet and greet tickets. And if it gets like sold out or something, we can have a discussion then about opening up more tickets. But let's get to that good problem first before we start making any plans.
That is actually a good problem to have.
All right, y'all. Till next time. I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody.